Welcome to the Texas School Safety Center's A Parent's Guide to Understanding Bullying.
18-year-old Brandy Vela shot and killed herself right in front of her parents and her grandparents.
Her family says she was being bullied because
her
of
own life following what they say was months of relentless cyberbullying.
Creator died by suicide this week, just days after he told his family he was being bullied at school.
Molak, whose son David took his life after months of cyberbullying.
My daughter was bullied so much, she committed suicide.
They say weeks of constant bullying cost him his life.
Herself after being bullied relentlessly for months.
Of a bullied teen who died by suicide.
Anguish for the parents of a bullied girl who took her own life.
Parents say he became the victim of relentless cyberbullying and took his own life.
Bullying can be written, verbal, electronic like texting or social media, or physical conduct. It is the exploiting of an imbalance of power, which could mean your child is outnumbered or someone is bigger, more popular, has more followers, or likes. It can be one significant act, or bullying can be a pattern of acts, which means someone picks on your child over and over. Bullying includes harm to your child or damage to your child's property, but it can also mean the threatening of harm to your child or their property. Bullying that is done electronically, like through texting, gaming platforms, or social media, is called cyberbullying. It can include sending, posting, or sharing negative, harmful, or false content about someone. Cyberbullying can happen anywhere, at home, school, school-related events, on the way to or from school, or in the community. And it can take place before or after school hours. That means things that happen on social media or through text could still be bullying even if they don't happen on campus, yet it affects your child at school. The Texas Education Code states, it is bullying or cyberbullying when an occurrence is sufficiently severe, persistent, or pervasive enough that it creates an intimidating, threatening, or an abusive educational environment. The bullying interferes with the student's education, disrupts school operations, or infringes on the rights of the victim. This means the victim might be afraid to go to school or school-related activities. Now that you have a better understanding of what bullying and cyberbullying are, let's look at what parents and schools can do about it. Schools must have a reporting policy posted at school and on their webpage. Students, school personnel, and parents can report bullying to the school administration. Students can do this without giving their name through the district's anonymous reporting tool. If your child is the victim of bullying or your child is the bully, the law requires schools to notify the parent of an alleged victim of bullying within 3 business days of a report. Schools must also notify the parent of an alleged bully within a reasonable amount of time after the incident. If you've been notified that your child is being bullied or that your child is the one doing the bullying, it doesn't make you a bad parent. However, it is important to work with your child's school to resolve the issue. Depending on the severity of the conduct, a bully could get detention, in-school or out-of-school suspension, or other disciplinary measures. A bully can also lose his or her extracurricular activities like sports, cheerleading, band, or club participation. In a serious or recurring situation, he or she could be sent to the district's alternative school or even expelled. Now that you have a better understanding of what bullying and cyberbullying are, let's look at what the law says. Not only can students get in trouble at their school, but they can also get in trouble with the law. That is because some conduct that is described as bullying or cyberbullying under school policies also breaks the law. For example, simple assault includes causing physical injury, which can fall under the bullying category. Harassment, which can be categorized as bullying, may include threatening to cause harm or bodily injury. It also includes repeatedly calling or messaging someone with the intent to harass, annoy, embarrass, or offend them. It becomes more serious and the penalties increase when there is a previous conviction, a restraining order in place, or when a minor is harassed using an electronic device with the intent that the minor dies by suicide or causes themselves serious bodily injury. Hazing, another form of bullying, includes conduct done for the purpose of the victim being initiated into or maintaining membership in an organization, such as the ones listed here. And it includes any type of physical brutality. A person, including a parent or teacher, can be guilty of hazing even if they only aid another to do these things or recklessly permits them to occur. Disorderly conduct, which can also be considered bullying, can include looking into a private area, such as a restroom, shower stall, or dressing room. It can include abusing or threatening a person in an offensive manner, getting into a fight, or displaying a deadly weapon to alarm people. Likewise, stalking can also be categorized as bullying, which includes any of the following. Unknown to many, criminal mischief includes intentionally damaging or destroying the property of a victim, or intentionally making markings on the property of the owner, which can be categorized as bullying. Keeping a person by force or violence, or threats of force or violence, from entering or leaving the school campus can also be categorized as bullying. Sometimes bullying or harassment happens as a result of sexual images that are shared. Sexting is the sending of sexually explicit digital images, videos, text messages, or emails, usually by cell phone or computer. Sextortion is threatening to send explicit pictures to others unless they get paid with money, more images, videos, or sex. Invasive photography is when someone photographs, records, or broadcasts a person's intimate areas in a space that has the reasonable expectation of privacy, such as a bathroom or changing room, without the victim's consent. For adults, these crimes are mostly considered misdemeanors, although if there is serious injury, such crimes can be felonies. Sentences for adults for these crimes could mean many years in jail or hefty fines. Any person 17 or older can be charged as an adult. However, children 14 and older for very serious crimes can also be tried and sentenced as adults. For more serious conduct, this could include time spent in a juvenile detention center up until the age of 19. For children between the ages of 10 and 16, though, violations of these criminal laws have their case heard before a juvenile court judge and can result in what are called adjudications of delinquency. In Texas, the goal of the juvenile court system is to rehabilitate the child and to assist the family in resolving harmful behavior. Thus, the parents of an accused bully will also be required to appear before the court, and the court can include the parents in any orders it assigns for their child's behavior. Those sanctions generally include counseling, community service, paying for any damage done, and possibly referral to a state agency for family support and other services. Now that you have an understanding of what bullying and cyberbullying are, and what the possible consequences of bullying are, let's look at some tools to help you and your child. A great way for schools to determine if an incident is bullying or cyberbullying is to use the Texas School Safety Center's checklist. If you don't have at least one check mark in each section, then it is not bullying or cyberbullying. If you do have a check mark in each section, then it needs to be reported to the school. If you suspect your child is being bullied, it is helpful to go through the bullying checklist to determine if it meets the criteria for bullying. You or your child should report any bullying to the school. This could be through the district's anonymous reporting tool or letting the principal, counselor, or a teacher know. You also have the right to report any suspected criminal behavior, including occurrences like harassment and assault, to local law enforcement. David's Law, which went into effect in 2017, created a new avenue of civil relief for cyberbullying victims, which includes a temporary restraining order and/or an injunction against the cyberbully. This means by law the cyberbully must stop what he or she is doing. In some cases, the victim may be granted a permanent injunction. Even if it doesn't meet the law to be considered bullying or cyberbullying, it doesn't mean nothing can be done, and it doesn't mean what happened is okay. Your child's school will have different procedures in place for dealing with that situation. Not everything should be labeled bullying. Sometimes kids can be rude or mean. Being rude can be making ugly faces at someone, flipping someone off, burping in someone's face, or being inconsiderate. Being mean might be telling someone to shut up or "I hate you," and is usually said in anger or done to hurt someone out of frustration. However, if the mean behaviors are happening over and over, it might be bullying. Conflict and disagreements happen, and unkind words might be said, but it's important for your child to learn how to deal with conflicts and disagreements without being rude or mean. Just because it isn't bullying doesn't make it okay to be rude or mean. Your child should still tell a trusted adult if someone isn't treating them kindly. What if you or your child have reported the rude, mean, or bullying behaviors, but nothing seems to change? Email, call the school, or make an appointment to speak with your child's teacher, principal, or counselor. Take notes during your meeting with them and ask questions like, what steps are you going to take to address this issue? Understand that sometimes there are things the school can't tell you because of state and federal privacy laws meant to protect all children, but that doesn't mean they aren't doing anything to help your child. If you have reached out to your school, but your informal means of communication are not successful, you may initiate the formal grievance process by timely filing a formal written complaint form. A formal grievance is first filed in writing with the school or campus principal. Each school district or charter may have their own timelines and complaint forms, so you will need to request these from the district or charter. You may also include any other supporting documentation relating to your complaint. If you did not receive the relief requested at Level 1, or if the time for a response has expired, you may request a conference with the superintendent or Level 2 designee to appeal the Level 1 decision. The appeal notice must be filed in writing on a form provided by the district or charter. Include your original complaint form and all supporting documents submitted at Level 1. If you did not receive the relief requested at Level 2, or if the time for a response has expired, you may appeal the decision to the school board. The appeal notice must be filed in writing on a form provided by the district or charter. Include all documents from Level 1 and 2. Lastly, if after exhausting the local grievance process, you are still aggrieved by the school district's decision, you may file an appeal in writing to the Commissioner of Education. Pay special attention to the deadlines, as some appeals have specific time constraints. To find out more information, please go to TEA's website at tea.texas.gov. If at any time you feel like a crime has been committed or there is a safety concern, you have the right to report it to the police. Some school districts may not have their own police department, but there is always local jurisdiction where you live. What should you do if your child is the bully? Most parents do not want to believe that their child is capable of or engages in bullying. However, it does happen. Communication is key. Talk to your child to find out why he or she is bullying. Oftentimes, children bully when they feel sad, angry, lonely, or insecure. Many times, major changes at home or school may bring on these feelings. Ask yourself if your child has witnessed or experienced bullying themselves from an adult or family member. Sometimes, bullies have been mistreated by an adult in their life. Ask a teacher or school counselor if your child has been acting differently or facing any problems in class. Explain to your child what they are doing is wrong and how there can be severe consequences for bullying. The best thing you can do for your child is to talk to them and teach them how to treat others and how to resolve conflicts and disagreements without being rude or mean. Sometimes you may need to seek counseling for your child if you are struggling to get through to them. Why does all of this matter?
David was my youngest son, and he was just a great kid, you know. adventurous, and he wanted to be like his brothers. And so when we found out about the cyberbullying, that's when, we took him to the therapist and knew that he needed to have some help to be able to get through it. I first learned about the cyberbullying one night where there was an Instagram post, and David came running down into our bedroom crying and screaming that, his life was over and he was never going to be able to go back to school. I got out of bed and I sat on the floor with him to try to understand what was going on, and that's when he showed me his phone.
It was attacks about him, his looks, and there were physical threats to him, put him in a body bag, put him in a coffin.
The cyberbullying continued even after David changed schools, and he no longer had social media, but he did still have his phone. And so what kids would do is they would take screenshots of it and send that to him through regular text.
He didn't want to go to class. He didn't want to go to the cafeteria. And he just didn't give it a chance.
And I see Mom sprawled out on the grass, her father having to hold her down. And I see a cop, examining David.
And the whole thing was actually like living through a nightmare.
I wake up every day, every single day, knowing that David is not here anymore. But if the work that we're doing helps another family or another child, then we've made a difference. And I believe that we all can make a difference in this world, but it takes effort and intention. And if we do that, then we have the ability to change the world. We have seen much improvement in the numbers of reported incidents of bullying and cyberbullying since David's Law passed in 2017. However, there are still many students who are targeted by these behaviors, so we must do more, and we must do more together as a cohesive school community. Bullying behaviors significantly impact the target, the student doing the bullying, and the bystander. So it's important that we recognize the signs, we intervene early, and we follow up often to ensure the behavior has stopped so that we keep all our students safe and our schools thriving learning environments. First of all, if your child comes to you and tells you about a bullying situation, you should take a deep breath and thank them for coming to you. What we know is that less than half of young people actually report bullying to an adult. So let your child know that they are brave and you are grateful that they came to you. Help them understand that what is happening to them is not their fault and it's not right. No one deserves to be treated that way, and that you will help them get through it. Talk through the situation and let your child tell you in their own words what is happening and how it makes them feel. Validate their feelings and maybe share a time when you were bullied or mistreated. Talk through next steps and talk through options together. You will always want to help your child report it to the school so that the school can take appropriate action and help keep your child safe. But most importantly, you know your child better than anyone. So if you feel like your child isn't coping well, you should always reach out to your pediatrician or a mental health provider for support. And of course, if you feel a crime has been committed, you should notify law enforcement immediately. When your child is going through a difficult time, it takes a toll on us as parents. I know how difficult it can be, But if we work with our schools peaceably, in partnership, as a team, then we have the highest chances of resolving the issues quickly and successfully. You can also help by partnering with your school's cyber safety and digital citizenship initiatives. Attending parent nights and school presentation opportunities are a great example to your child that the topic of physical and online safety matters. Reading through your school's technology use agreements with your child and setting boundaries and screen limits at home is also helpful. Having frequent and deliberate conversations about social media use and dangers, the importance of kindness, standing up for our friends, and taking personal responsibility for our actions are conversations that will have a lasting impact on your child. At David's Legacy Foundation, we have hundreds of families that reach out to us for help every year. We offer support to guide parents as they work with their school to resolve bullying situations. We also have programs, tips, and resources, including a new PSA on the dangers of cyberbullying to help families discuss this important topic and to follow up as a family by taking our pledge to never use your device as a weapon. This is a great conversation starter to talk about each of our roles and responsibilities in the family, in our schools, and our communities to help keep each other safe online. You can find us at davidslegacy.org. The Texas School Safety Center and the Texas Education Agency are also great resources for information and help in navigating through difficult situations with your schools. No one wants to see a parent and their child struggling. If you are ever in a crisis over a school bullying situation, please reach out to David's Legacy, Texas Education Agency, or the Texas School Safety Center.
Bullying can occur, and communication is key. Make sure you are talking with your child about bullying and having those hard conversations. Be involved in their school, know who their friends are, and most importantly, teach them to be kind to others and how to resolve conflicts appropriately. You are not alone. The Texas School Safety Center is here to help you. Check out David's Legacy Foundation and the Texas School Safety Center's A Parent's Guide to School Safety Toolkit for more information and resources.